and namaste, and a very good day to everyone. I'm Vimuri from Sri Lanka. Today, I'm your host on behalf of the International Association for Quality Education. The International Association for Quality Education is a non-profit international organization working with educators across the globe to enhance the quality of education and contribute to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals.
मम्मी के लिए लगा दो
The International Project for Capacity Development in Education has been implemented alongside the International Conference Series on Quality Education. The international project serves as a platform for educational professionals to share best practices, research findings, and competencies with all stakeholders in the field of education. Additionally, the platform acts as a virtual learning space for young educators to acquire new knowledge and grow as professionals in the education sector. Today, we are honored to have a very special speaker with us, Ms. Preeti Tyagi ma'am from India. She is currently conducting a lecture series on effective classroom management, quality pre-primary and primary education. So far, she has delivered 10 presentations related to classroom management. Today, she will be discussing about how to handle disruptive parents. I believe this is a very engaging and relevant topic for all of us. Namaste, ma'am. I would now like to warmly invite you to begin your session.
Yeah, thank you so much. Namaste to everyone. So, how are you all doing? I am hoping that we all are fine enough to just get into this today's sessions, how to handle the disruptive parents. So, without further ado, let's start. Let's begin. Okay, we have just talked about the teacher. We have talked about the students. Now that we are talking about the parents, because without the presence of the parents, right, the term education is incomplete. So now for what I have said it, that when we are dealing with education, that we have to deal with the tripolar world, right? And if we'll talk about the existence, right, the parents are very, very important part in this world. So now the real question comes up, that how to handle the disruptive parents, because we cannot expect all the parents to be same, to polite, sincere. So we have to have all sort of a parents. So in this session that we are going to deal with, so when I say that how to handle the disruptive parents, that you might have your own experiences with certain disruptive parents, that during the PTMs, that things were not when things have not gone the way you have planned them, right? So let's start how to handle the disruptive parents. Now let's talk about that. What are we going to do in today's session? So let's get into the agenda, right? We'll just get to know that preventing controversies, that there are many types of controversies that we have to deal with every day in and day out in our schools, right? And we'll also talk about that how could we set the scene for a nice and fruitful conversation with the parents. After that, during the discussion, that what sort of a communication that we have to be in, effective problem solving techniques, rules of engagement, that how can we engage our parents into a more conducive conversation, three possible endpoints, that what are the objectives. So we are just going to deal with tips and techniques, ending an unproductive conversation, because many a time it happens that, right, no matter that how hard you try, but things are so downhill that you can't come up with the solution at that very moment. So how should we go ahead with this conversation? That we also talk about the parents with mental, there are parents that who may have their own sort of a problems, they might be juggling with the mental illnesses. Then out of control parents, you have experienced many a time that there are parents that no matter that how polite that you are towards them, still again they'll be out of control all the time, right? We'll be identifying and we'll be finding out the coping mechanism with different kind of a behavior patterns, brainstorming activities, case studies in the role play, and taking care of ourselves as well. Ultimately, that we are teacher, we are not the omniscient that who can deal. We have to keep ourselves at the calm and at ease stature. So now, so this was the agenda that we have to deal with in today's workshop. Now, strategy for teacher and school leader. Why this matter? Why do we have to devise certain strategies? Why do we have to place certain objectives to write with the parents? how are they needed, how are they requires. So basically we must understand that they are required all the time because they are the stakeholders in the education. As I told you earlier as well, that we are living into the tripolar world, a world which is created by the students, teacher and the parents. If any part of it is missing, that it is not going to function and it is not going to function smoothly. So yes, we have to take care of all the three factors. We have to take care of the students, we have to take care of ourselves. If we are not at ease, how are we going to handle the other two part of our world? So yes, and now what is the need of today's session? Sometime like interaction between the parents and us, becomes challenging, right? And we have to maintain the respect, we have to protect the learning atmosphere, and simultaneously that we have to build the trust, because it's not the matter of one day, 1 month or 1 year. It's an ongoing process. So if we can sustain and maintain the trust, this is how that we are going to achieve the objectives. Now, okay, let's get into what sort of a parents that we have to deal with. Sometimes the overly defensive parents, right? We'll be get into the definition of all these sorts, but let's in number these parents. Overly defensive parents, as the name suggests itself, that these are the type of parents that will always and always, come into the defense of their child, right? The aggressive and angry parents, their moods are always at the brighter and the sharp side. The over involved and helicopter sort of a parents, right? Okay, okay, no, my child cannot do this but he can do this, right? The uninvolved and neglectful parents, many reminders are sent to them, mails are sent to them, but they are hardly be reactive to these mails. They hardly be coming to the schools just to know that what had happened, how are the studies going on for the child. And the one very important figure, the know it all. Yes, they are not going to buy any argument, they are not going to buy any point, right, from your sides. They know everything. So these are, you may take a screenshot of it, that these are, you have to categorize. Do you remember our first session in which that we have categorized the types of students? Here we are categorized the types of parents, that how many types of parents that we can have, we have to deal with. Okay, now preventing, let's deal with the first type, preventing controversy round robin. What upset parents? So these type of parents are basically that how these parents are always offended. What are the trigger points to them? Lack of communication, right? Like if that we are not into the good terms of maintaining the communication with them, failure to stick up for kids, and the over actions, defensiveness and rigidness, breaking promises and dishonesty. So these parents are hardly keeping the promise, and sometime that they also deal into the dishonesty. They'll give you the promise, okay ma'am, we'll be going to do this, but ultimately they are not keeping up the promises. Unwillingness to admit mistakes and apologize, right? Disrespectful and unprofessional behavior, rudeness, condescensions, lashing out, breaking confidentiality, right? Being asked for advice, and it not being taken itself. See, these are the trigger points, that these points can trigger the parents to be rude to us when we are not just keeping the communication. And we are not just we are failure to stick up for the kids, we are not listening to the kids, we are being rigid, we are not listening to the kids, we are listening to the parents, we are breaking the promises, right? And we are being sometimes disrespectful towards them and towards the kids, right? Assumptions and stereotypes that we are, it's pretty obvious that many a time that we can also come up with these stereotypes, that whatever kind of a stereotypes that we have set into our minds, and that we are just bringing them into our usual conversation, right? Fear that they might fear the our child is unsafe, right, into the presence of so and so teacher, into the school, or to the unknown. Internal issues of the parents, right? When they'll discuss the internal issues of the parents. Now, how could we sort out these problems? How could we bring back these trigger points, right? Communicate regularly, right? If we are just thinking that this kind of a bridge is being widened up because of the communication, so try and communicate to them regularly, clearly, effectively, that what are the all points that you have to discuss with them. Verbalize caring for kids. It's not always that showing will work, no. Many a time, and it's not limited to the school, it is limited to everywhere. It will work in your homes, it will work in offices, schools, and everywhere, right? That's many a times that we have to verbalize our care, our love, our compassion, right, to everyone. See the big picture. If child is not behaving so and so the required way, if the parents are not behaving the required way, try to understand the reasons. Many a times the reasons might be genuine, right? Be open to constructive criticism. If the parents is saying something and you're not liking it, right, you are taking it as a criticism, don't do it. Try and find out that why he is saying so. Is there a base behind it, or it's a baseless, right? We can all judge it. Do not make promises you can't keep or at all, because at that time you can be, caught hold of that. If you have made certain promises to the parents that okay, I'll take care, okay, I'll make the homework done, okay, I'll do it on behalf of that child, and because of the the hordes of responsibility somehow that you couldn't do it, ultimately the parents will let loose on you. Right. Admit when you are wrong and apologize with sincerity. Yes, this is the biggest, I would say, the skill that we have to be upskilled with, right? Wherein you can say that, okay, I apologize, that maybe it was not my intention, but I'll try to correct it in that way. Very, very polite it. Be respectful and professional. But it doesn't mean that every time that you'll go so down and so deep, down that wherein the parents will take an upper hand to it. No, only be okay. I apologize for the mistake that you think that I've committed. Next time I'll remember it in that way. And professional, be punctual, avoid jargons. Keep your conversation clear. Do not use jargons. Yes, okay. Be open minded. When I say open minded, it means that I'm saying if they are saying they are giving a feedback to you, take that feedback. Right after that, just see through that feedback whether it was a genuine or it was an intentional, yeah, it was made into the moment, right? Know and respect cultural differences. Yes, we don't do it intentionally, but we might can do, right? Wherein that that we can pick the difference by dichotomy, right? Yeah, wherein we are just somehow that we can comment on the differences on the culture. Stay away of it, right? Create a safe classroom and school. Quell fears with information. Educate yourself about issues faced by today's parents. And what else? We need to be considerate even that nowadays parenting is entirely a different and complicated task. Gone are the times that when our parents were, even the mothers were particularly, they were always at the home doing the household chores, they were taking care of the children. But now things are pretty different. Even the mothers are working, right, just to make the daily ends meet. So in that way, try to understand the situation. Now, remember the golden rule. What is the golden rule? Treat parent the way you would like to be treated. This is, I would say, the most important rules, right? Wherein that we have to treat the parent the way we want ourselves to be treated. Try to put yourself into their shoes. That if you were at their place, how would you react? Now, there are no caveats on the golden rule. You should treat people the way you would like to be treated, even if you feel that they are being accusatory, disrespectful, rude, and ignorant. Sometimes I understand things are so complicated that you will not always remember, but try to remember as much as you can. There is no shortcut to it. Every time, if the parents are being angry, try and put yourself right that if you were at that place, how would you have reacted? Now, Just a second. Okay, setting the scene. You might have heard that the ambience is always the third teacher and the most important one as well. So scene and atmosphere is the biggest teacher, that you have to set the ambience for that sort of a conversation. So when in person, if you are meeting the parents in person in PTMs, right, face to face, try, if you can't shake hands, because every country has its own culture, just be welcoming. Maybe good morning, good afternoon, start with pleasantries. Snacks and drinks, again, that is the choice with the school, that different schools have their different, some schools offer the snacking at the time of PTM. So again, I would not like to comment on this. Yes, this is important. When you sit, try to sit eye to eye and knee to knee contact. Try to frame yourself in that way, wherein your confidence will ooze out. Stay at eye level, not above or below the other person. Right, have enough big people chairs available, have enough comfortable chairs around you, so that you can set the comfortable atmosphere can be felt and seen. Right, do not hide behind your desk. Don't sit on the kind of a chair which is quite low, where it will give a feel that yes, you have hid yourself behind the desk. In If you are sitting into the group setting, be aware of the sitting pattern, wherein it's not about us versus them, it's about that we all are on the common ground. It's not something segregating, that wherein it can all easily be assumed they are parents, and that yes, we are the teacher. Do not set that kind of atmosphere. Try to be like that we all are here to deal with the problems and feedbacks related to the students. Right, introduce everyone. Right, set a time limit and stick to it. During the paytm time or during the meeting time, right, kindly give them the time frame. That's okay, sir, your child's roll number is 10, 12, 11. Your time will come between this frame. In that way, what will you happen, or what will you do? You will respect the other parents time as well, because all the parents are coming to attend just to be into the meeting, just leaving their work behind. So in that way, try and give a time slot to particular roll numbers. Right, okay, 1 to 10 will be 11 to 12, and right, 11 to 12 will be 2:30, depending upon the schedule that you have. Okay, be prepared, use data. Always just accompany with the data. Many a time that parents can be accusatory, wherein they will put all the faults on you only. So just have the data. Okay, sir, no, this was not the case. I have the number with me. You just see that on PT, into the pre-assessment, that he or she has got this much, and now that many a time that I made a call to you, you did not pick. So kindly have the data with you, wherein that you are ready with any kind of the accusation if they may have. Right, take notes, use quotes. Quotes are always gives us the win-win situation. Right, it gives the enrichment simultaneously. The quotes can keep the parents down. Right, so always use quotes, motivating quotes related to the students, and take notes. Just give them the picture that yes, whatever feedback they are coming ahead, that you are taking notes of them. In that way, the parents will feel recognized and noticed, and this is what that we have to make them to be felt. Consider displaying your qualification, diploma, etc. This is not needed at all, but many a time the school may have the culture where on the whiteboard and the blackboard they have the data and the qualification of their teachers dealing with the child, so that the parents can have that yes, their children are in the guidance of a well qualified and trained teachers. So that is again up to the school's requirement. Consider having a witness or someone on call to mediate. If you are on call, right, either you may record and you are disruptive, you are dealing with a kind of a complicated problem. Right, the parents are not coming up, no matter that how many reminders that you've sent to them, but they are not coming to meet you in person. Try and always record the conversation so that at times that you can use them as your witness. Yes, very, very important. Try not to make or take calls in the late afternoon. Neither you take the calls into the late afternoon, not try to make the, just thinking that at that time, you can also be tired and cranky. Maybe that you can answer in that way, which was not supposed to be, right? Or maybe that you can hear the kind of feedback from the parents that you were not supposed to get. So just try and avoid that particular time. See, it's very, very important. Just try and understand that we are dealing that how to set the ambience. So just try and pick up the time wherein you feel that now the parents would be at ease and so are we. Okay, so just try to make calls in the morning. Never make a parent call you twice. Like if you receive a call, you couldn't pick it up, try to give a call back to the parent. Have a plan, be prepared, and use data. You are fixing a meeting with parents, right? And you are left with nothing. This is not going to benefit you. This meeting will be in vain. Without data, without preparation, don't go before the parents. Now, set a time limit. I have already talked about that, how time limit is very, very important and what is the importance to stick with it. Consider having a witness. We also talked about that. See, if you are meeting the parents, face to face in person, there could be many witnesses. There could be other parents, right? There could be a person from the management team. There could be other teachers. So, right. But if you are just talking to the parent, right, over the phone, just try and record that conversation for your own safety and security. Take notes, use quotes. If you don't have all the information, explain that, sir, right moment, I don't have the information, but don't give the false information, right? You may say that, sir, at that moment, I don't have the right information, but as soon as I'll get the information, I'll get back to you. So this will, reap the security in the parents. This will reap the, trust in the parents, right? If you are just giving something in writing to the parents, right? Because this could be an evidence against you. So just try, write and proofread, and if it's possible that you can give that document to be proof read by the your colleague or your senior staff, right? So that they can notice. So, because words are power, sometimes that words can create what you did not mean, right? So always before just giving something in writing which has to be sent to the parents, make it proof read. Consider all notes on paper, email as professional document. Use your alphabet, soup after your name. Use letterhead. Alphabet soup is that Mr. and Mrs. and all that sort of the designation that you want to put your degrees, right? How you want to be addressed. If you cannot respond to a note or email within one school day, let the parents know when you will reply. Always acknowledge. Maybe many a time that the kind of information, the kind of help the parents are requiring and asking from you, you cannot provide at that very moment. Always write a simple sentence. I'll get back to you. Right, either on message or on call, sir. Right moment. It's not possible. Right moment, I can do it, but I'll surely get back to you, right? Don't say yes or no at the same moment. Keep photocopies of the written notes and the print and saves emails in case you need them, right? During the discussion, be aware of the body language and tone. Very, very important too. Because if we are into that adrenaline rush, we might lose a track over our tones, that how does our tone uh, you know see to how does our tone seem flat to the parents, or maybe loud to the parents, or polite to them. So just kindly always keep a track of your tone and your body language, that how are you viewed by them, right? How are you seen by them, right? Listen first, listen well, and listen between the lines. Very, very powerful line. Listen first, do not jump onto the responding, right? Listen completely and thoroughly, uh, thoroughly, try and understand every point, and yes, listen between the lines. Many a time that you have to understand what is not said and what is not verbalized. So try and understand between the lines, that because all the parents cannot be articulate enough just to express that what they wanted to see, right, and what they wanted to say. Consider using the mirror techniques and reflect back to the parents what you have heard. Always rephrase. Okay, sir, I mean that you wanted to do this thing. I hope for what I understood is that you want to say. So try and use that mirror technique. In that way, you are emphasizing over the questions, and now you will get enough time to respond to the parents. When you'll have that sure, okay, this was the question, I heard it right, now you will have ample of a scope to answer the question correctly. Ask sincere question. Seek to understand fully. Do not ask random question. Just try and ask the question which are related to the conversation, right? Which will show that yes, you have understood their problems. Be open-minded. Do not be judgmental. Do not be very quick, right? Do not be over enthusiastic. Okay, okay, sir, I understood your problem. This is what you want to say. No, no, no. Try and always give an image to the parents that you are listening, you are into the contemplative mood. Express empathy and understanding, very very important. Try and put yourself into the shoes of a parents. Be tactful and gentle. You have to be polite, gentle, but strategic, right? You have to have planning in the place. You have to have the ways to deal with the problems. Remain calm and confident. Don't be over enthusiastic. Don't be jump onto the answering and just solving the problem. Okay, sir, I have the solution and I will surely solve your problems, right? Remain calm, see the bigger picture. Again, that try to read between the lines. When I say so, that try to read between the lines, it means that I'm saying just see the bigger picture. Present options and avoid backing anyone into the corner, right? Okay, try and give them the options, right? Avoid backing anyone into the do not let them feel that your their problem is not addressed, all right? Okay, remember charm and disarm, very very important. Not shock and awe, right? If you are polite, right, if you are considerate, you are understanding, yes, it means that you have you have cast the spell, right? Charm them with your personality. When I say personality, it means the demeanor, that I mean the demeanor, right? That how you are viewed, right? So charm and disarm. When you are smiling, you will give them the picture, yes, you are listening, you are all ears, right? They will feel that yes, you are all ear to provide them the solution, and now you are the only one that who can bring the solution. Don't shock and do not jump. Okay, just saying, sir, you are the only one responsible, that who has made the child like that, and that is how that he is not listening. Do not do so. Monitor your own emotions, right? Neither feel angry, right, and other powerful emotion. Try to connect to its sources, right? Right, try to analyze. That will work into the general scenario as well, that when you start monitoring your triggering point, that you'll get to know that how you can be away from them. So if nothing else work, to bite your tongue and not act on emotions. So do not bring out your emotion, all the emotion in one go. So okay, now we have already effective problem solving, because ultimate, when we are just getting into the contact with the parents, the only end game is end result is that we have to solve the problems. And now how could we solve the problems? Yes, first of all, we have to identify. This is the circle, kindly pay attention to that circle, right? This is the identity. First of all, we need to understand, identify the problem, explore the causes of the problem and everyone's interest, that how it is going to bring the interest of others as well. Is it a problem to one specific child, or is it something that is bothering everyone, right? Set a goal to solve the problem. Look at the alternative solution solutions, that what are the other solution apart from the solution that you have already provided, right? You can bring in, select and yes, implement plan, evaluate results, and fine tune with the block. This is the kind of methodology that not only in the school system but in the rest of the system, rest of the parlance, that you can adopt, that whenever that we have to solve the problems, that we have to identify, that explore. And how could we identify? The simple and the very basic strategy is write the problem on the page, right? Use pen and paper to identify, because many a time the problems are self created, self creation, that right. But when you will write these problem on the paper, you'll get to know there were many points that they were not problem worthy. Now, rule of the engagement, that during the conversation, how are you going to engage the parents, right? Like a professional. No sarcasm at all, right? No yelling, rudeness, otherwise questionable behavior. Listen with sympathy before you talk. Listen first, listen carefully, right? Be willing to compromise. Compromise in what sense? Compromise, it means that sometime some parents can ask for the extra time, right, for listening to them. There, at moment, you have to compromise without being noticed, right? That yes, you can start giving the hints, but do not show them that yes, somehow that you're not interested anymore because they have surpassed their time limit. Do not ever give them the feel. Always give them, right? I understand that you are compromising on the part of other parents. They are, but be strategic, be professional, right? See the big picture and now listen, remain calm, demonstrate empathy, do not use the trigger words, right? Understanding, focus on one issue at a time. Today's meeting is all about this. Today's meeting is all about just to let you know that how your child has progressed, right? During the span of 6 months, 2 months, 3 months, that whatever it takes, right? Yes, and very, very important thing that you have to remember. In fact, this is the powerful line, that both of you, whether it's parent or you both are working into the very interest of the child, right? So you have to work, you know, side by shoulder to shoulder, right? Keep data and have a witness, involve the administration if needed. Very, very important. All the things that you cannot do it alone, because we are we are the teacher, we are living into the school system, and school system is not always about the teacher only. Like, it involves many stakeholders, that we have principal, we have management, we have director, we have other faculty members. So just try and get in touch with that if the problem is related to them. Don't try to solve it by yourselves, because many of problems needs the others expertise, right? Yes. You may use the customer service headline, the way they say, okay sir, right moment that I won't be able to provide you any help, but I'll get back to you, right? What can I do to improve? These are some of the calming words that you have to use, right? Turn the questions around. This is very, very important, right? Do not always consider that whatever the answer that you are providing is always right. Try and just bring try and make the parents partner into the answering. Sir, what do you think, that would that answer be right? Would that strategy work? Right? In that way the parents will understand. They'll acknowledge your involvement into the better being of their children, right? Okay, listen attentively without interrupting. Set limits, that we have already discussed with it. Three possible end. Now that we are coming to the end results, that what are the end results that were working? Consensus. Everyone comes to an agreement on what the problem is and how to approach solving it. That the main agenda of connecting with the parents is just to come onto the consensus, just to be onto one page, that this is the problem, that we are agree. Are you agree? If you are not agree, that these are certain areas that we would like to we would like you to know, right? And the vice versa, that always and always try to bring the consensus, try to make the parents aware, simultaneously listen to the parents so that you can work collectively, compromise both, or all parties agree to some of the provision of what the problem is and how to handle. Such school cannot do this thing, but yes, we can do this, right? If you are into the dead zone wherein no solution is coming up, that try and break that zone by providing a compromise. Sir, this much we can do it. See, all the homework cannot be done here in these 10 days, because after 10 days that we are coming across with the examination, let's do one thing, two subject that we'll make him to do here in the school, but rest of the subject kindly just make him to complete at home. So always do not leave the meeting at a point wherein no decisions has been taken. Always provides, always get into the problem solving mode, because the real the problem solvers, the leader, they always look for the solution, they never look for the problem. Confrontation, capitulation. Repeat the problem, right, sir? This is what I have understood. Is that what you want to say? Right? And always capitulate. Right? This may lead to a placement or class assignment change. If parties cannot agree on what the problem is, how to solve it, or both, and they cannot find a compromise, the end result is confrontation, capitulation, or both. Maybe you can have the confrontation and capitulation both. Conversation, know when to cut your losses, perhaps saying, maybe if the time is getting too much, if the conversation is yielding no fruit, it's bearing no fruit, you are saying that again you are coming back to the same problem, right? Know where to do what. Right, let me try to find out more about the situation. Let's schedule a time to talk, but never ever say, no, sir, it's not okay. Your problem cannot be sorted. Your problem cannot be solved. Do not ever say like that. Maybe just always give them the conviction that your problems uh, do have a solutions, but not right moment. Let's fix the meeting for some other day, some other time. Interrupt venting, so to say, it's important, I know how you feel about this, but I only have 5 more minutes. This is very very important. When I said so that you have to set the time frame for every meeting, it doesn't mean that you will cut them short by saying, okay sir, the time is finished, you may go, because I have to just deal with the other parents. Again, that situation will backfire. The out of control parents, the moment a conversation becomes out of control, set limits, right? Give them, sir, that moment I am unable to handle with you, because that you are being unprofessional, right? Okay, so in that situation, if the situation becomes volatile, just be professional, polite but stern answer. So I understand your grievances, but if you keep yelling at me like that, I won't be able to come up the won't be able to provide you any solution, right? Take all threats seriously, trust your intuition, right? And just give them the conviction, no. You might have heard the customer care executive saying, sir, you are being unrude. If you'll be that in professionals, I won't be able to stretch. So that way. Difficult behavior and challenging complaining and negativism, some types of difficult behavior, bullying, the silent treatment, knowing it all. I'm talking about the sorts of parents, clingy parents, they no show, the no show parents. Let's complaining and negativism, right? There are some sort of a parent that who always have some or the other complaints regarding either the school management or teaching methodologies, pedagogies, right? Anything, maybe sometime the related to the other student as well. So just listen to them, what you can offer to these kind of the parents. No matter what best you do to them, but they'll always spread the negativity. But again, that we cannot say by the sir, you are always very negative, I can't deal with you, we can't say like that. Just listen to them, fact find together if you can. So this is not the base, basis this. So just try to always just give them the facts. Okay, stay positive, realistic there, and stick to the facts. Do not offer opinion. Yes, very very important. If you think that you are dealing with the negative parents, do not ever give them the opinions, because you will never know, they might take your opinion as the another negative statement. Always give them the cut to cut facts, right? Okay. So try to give a solution without accepting a blame. Again, ask ask them, okay, sir, tell me that how could we solve it? Do you have a solution to that? Okay. And if you find, okay, sir, that I have taken note of your solution, I'll get into touch with the management and I'll get back to you. Again, right? Bullying sort of a parents. These type of parents may believe that he or she always right no matter what, right? They may demean those who disagree with you, and of course that if they are just talking to us, we are the teacher, they try to demean the teachers, right? Now what can we do? Sometime that we can personally and professionally feel that yes, we are attacked, but don't take it personally, right? They are just not dealing us as the person, they are dealing us as a profession. So do not engage them into argument, right? Because no matter that what you try, the bully will always win, right? He or she will come again with other more accusations, right? Address them, assertively express your option, right, without negating his. Always take acknowledgement of their solutions and their feedback as well, right? And just provide yours as well, right? Sometime if situation requires you to be a little bit over friendly, right, sensing the situation, just do that, because many a time it's your quick wit that can solve the problems rather the strategies can. So just read the atmosphere, read the room, and just behave accordingly. Silent treatment, they are passive aggressive, they'll not say, but you can easily feel that how they are feeling, right? Apathetic, silent. What you have to do in that case, ask open ended question. When I say open ended question, I mean I am asking a kind of a question wherein they are bound to respond, right? They'll not say no, yes. Does your child study? Yes. How much does he study? 4 hours? No. So you might have noticed that when your child studies, right, what sort of the notes, what sort of a notes he prepares. So now neither they can say yes, no, they can say yes, right? They will have to come up with the subjectivity, right? They will explain, okay, I don't see my child doing certain notes. Yeah, or yes, my child is very much into the note taking and note making, and what he does. So they'll come up with the subjectivity. This is what we have to aim, right? And we have to not all side all sort of a parents, otherwise the situation will be complicated and you are the one that who has to handle it. The silent type of a parents, right, that who do not speak, make silence, use a very friendly anticipating gaze during the silence. Gestures are very very important, right? Because they are not so good at communication, but they are good at understanding the gestures, right? So just give them the positive and affirmative gestures. Avoid power struggles. No, if you can't speak, I will do all the speaking. No, just no, don't give them that power struggles, right? Okay. Next is knowing it all. I know everything, right? The parents are expert, not only their own child but also giving the advices to others. No, your strategy is not good, your methodologies are not good, your teachers are not good, they are not trained, they are not expert. So they will have their expert opinion on everything to everything, right? Sometimes they may sound intimidating to you as well, arrogant, right? So now what you have to be, again, just you know be ornamented with your facts. Don't fake it. Yes, because again their expert advice will come up, right? Build of the knowledge, right? You have to be I would say that you have to be more knowledgeable than they are, but yes, try to gather as much fact as you can related to that subject. Yeah, and how will it happen when you are prepared, right? When you are endowed with the facts, praise their knowledge, acknowledge their knowledge. Right. Yes. So very nice. Okay. You got the expertise on this. That's very good. I have also, just gained certain information on this. In that way, try to link your knowledge, right? Appreciating their expertise. In that way, they will feel that connection. Because many a time, these sort of a parents, what all they need, they want the acknowledgement. Yes, they know it all. Right. So just give them that. If, just give them that feed, present alternative views sometime, that telling them that they are wrong only as an additional source of. So I think up to this you are correct, but if you can, you may add this, it will be a conclusive one. So very very politely, oh sir, very I appreciate your knowledge, but I think if the data is to be enlisted, the consequences will be like that. Respect their opinion, listen empathetically. If you need to correct their information, consider doing it through firm questioning. Don't direct jump. Very, very important line. Do not give them the answers directly. Give them the answers by questioning. Okay. So, very nice. Sir, did you apply this situation? Did you apply this technique? How did it go to you? Right? In that way, questioning and then provide the passive aggressive. Sometimes they are very sarcastic, right? Jokes at other expenses. They will not understand others feeling, they are always sarcastic. They are put shorts and indirect criticism, they'll feel that they are not saying directly to others, but yeah, their criticism can be felt, right? So they are not so good with the commitments. Now what you have to do, keep bring discussion back to the, again and again you have to pull them back to the conversation. Sir, the conversation is just like, okay sir, that we were talking about the progress the child has made during this pen. Okay sir, that you're talking about the child is not being very talkative with the other students, right? Refuse to allow I'm really very sorry sir, we cannot appreciate the sarcasm over others very very decently. Sir, yes, all are equal, but we cannot be, we cannot afford to be judgmental. Get commitments in writing, right? Because they are not very good. Okay sir, could you please write it down that how long it will take you to deposit the fee or any other thing, the clingo. They will never find a fault with their kids, right? They will always, move around their kids. They will always cling to the child, right? Does not want to take the, oh no no, if my child will do this, it will happen to him, right? So try and avoid allowing them to over engage. Sir, give them the space, give your child a space, give your child a break. Do not overprotect your child. Otherwise the child will lose the sense of individuality, and the child will lose that security that has to come from within, right? Because motivation is needed, but external motivation will not work until unless the internal motivation comes in, right? So this way, activists, they are always on the mission, right? That's not fair, right? Your school has done that, is not recommended, right? So in that case, you have to serve. There are certain limitation. Every profession has certain set limits. I would appreciate if you will understand it. If there is something a point, I will get in touch with you. Just cut the conversation, short in that way, because we do not have much to discuss with that sort of a parents. If we are discussing, believe me, they are again making that statement as an agenda. So in that way, sir, I understand your concern, but in my professional framework, in my personal framework, that I could do this much at a moment. But yeah, surely I have taken the consideration of your feedback. I'll get back to you. No show parents, they will hardly try to meet you either in person or call. No matter that how hard you try to contact with them, no matter that how hard you try to communicate with, they'll always be no show, right? So they now what, try and try and always have a written communication, and always get a witness to them, always have the photocopies of these written communication. If you are making a call, just note down that in your diary, that at what time and when you have made the conversation, right? We have already deal with. Yes, taking care of yourself before, during, and after difficult conversation, right? This is much more important, right? Before meeting with the parents, always have a plan. Discuss your option with colleague and administration. If you are a novice into the field, if you are inexperienced in that way, kindly get in touch with your senior and colleagues and administration. If you are going to just to deal with the parents, they will definitely let you know, they will equip you with the expertise. During, take deep breaths, don't take anything personally. Yes, think about keeping your position, think about your gesture, think about your position, think about your confidence, right? And write a positive message on your notes to remind you to relax. And yes, everything can be handled when you are at peace. After, when you are ready, find someone to process the conversation, right? Choose someone who will listen with empathy and validate your feelings. Maintain confidentiality, right? In fact, every time that every school has a different set of strategy. Many a time that if you are done with the parent teacher meeting, right, the school will understand what are the feedbacks that you have gotten, what are the complaints that you've gotten. So this is how that you can deal with. The bottom line is, right, remember that every parent wants to know if the child is just another student to you, or whether you really know him or her. Very, very important, right? So kindly just know the name of the child, just know the characteristics, just know the personality traits, just know the weaknesses and positives of that child, right? And then go before the parents, right? Parents want to know if they can count on you to treat their child fairly, even kindly. They hope that you see in their son or daughter all the special things that it will not always work when you say that, okay, sir, your child has got this, right? All the time he's up to something or the other, right? He doesn't do any good. They are not going to listen, right? When you say, okay, child, your child has got the potential that he can do so much good if that he's trained nicely, if he's controlled wisely, that he has got that potential, he has got that capacity, right? In that way, our parents can build the trust in you. Yes, that you have observed all the personality traits in the child, and now that whatever solution that you are providing, definitely that solution will work wonder for that child. This is how that they are going to be in your favor. So that is from my side.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You made us think about ourselves also, how we might be as parents also. So lots to think about as a parent and teacher both. So thank you so much, ma'am, for teaching us this very interesting topic and help us manage our things in school better. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night,
Thank
everyone.
you, ma'am. Good night.
Fly so high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.